Carl Sagan found out why laziness kills you slowly, how to stop it. Have you ever felt the silent pull of inertia first thing in the morning, a gentle but unyielding voice urging you to press snooze one more time, to push aside your plans for the day, to do nothing but linger in the comfortable realm of no responsibilities? If so, you're hardly alone. Laziness, sometimes disguised as procrastination or simple fatigue, can creep into every corner of our lives. It persuades us to stall our dreams, ignore our health, and dismiss our potential. But what if this phenomenon does more than merely rob us of short-term productivity? What if it erodes us from the inside out, shrinking our horizons both physically and mentally? That's exactly the question some readers might ask when they stumble upon the provocative claim that Carl Sagan, celebrated astronomer, thinker, and science popularizer, once unearthed how laziness kills you slowly. Intriguing, right? Now, Carl Sagan wasn't a health coach or a motivational speaker by trade. He was, above all else, a scientist who adored exploring cosmic mysteries and unveiling the magnificence of our universe to the broadest audience possible. So it might seem odd that a man so focused on galaxies, distant stars, and the possibility of extraterrestrial life would also reflect on something as commonplace as laziness. But if you think about it, Sagan's cosmic perspective brings a refreshingly unique lens to the problem. We're all part of this vast, swirling cosmos, and the energy that stirs the stars also pulses through us. Sagan believed that we are the mind and eyes of the universe, a way for the cosmos to know itself. From that vantage point, squandering our one brief flicker of life through persistent inertia or passivity might appear not just a casual shortcoming but a tragic squandering of cosmic opportunity. It's easy to shrug off the notion that laziness kills slowly as mere hyperbole. After all, we often treat laziness like a mild or comical quirk, something that might prompt you to skip a workout or binge-watch a TV series well past bedtime. But science is increasingly revealing real links between chronic inactivity and a slew of health complications. These range from heart issues and obesity to mood disorders like depression and anxiety. The synergy is startling. A lazy lifestyle can chip away at our physical well-being, fueling disease processes that often go unnoticed until they balloon into serious ailments. At the same time, passivity starves the mind of stimulation, leading to diminished creativity, suboptimal learning, and a pervasive sense of emptiness. In this sense, laziness does quietly kill, or at least degrade, the vibrant potential within us. But why did Sagan of all people concern himself with such a very human failing? The answer likely lies in his overarching philosophy. Sagan's brilliance wasn't confined to astronomy. He had a passion for teaching critical thinking, sparking curiosity, and encouraging intellectual bravery in all fields. He recognized that the cosmic perspective gives us both comfort, by showing we're part of something vast, and a gentle jolt, a reminder that each of us is ephemeral, a fleeting arrangement of atoms in a cosmos billions of years old. If we remain idle, we risk never unraveling our own mysteries or fulfilling the grand possibilities inherent in human consciousness. It's not so much that Sagan wrote a pointed essay specifically titled, "Why Laziness Kills," but in his works, lectures, and personal conversations, there's evidence he found it disheartening how many people drift along, never harnessing the mind's extraordinary capacity to learn, explore, and connect. One might say that, for Sagan, a lazy life wasn't just detrimental, it was a profound tragedy of cosmic proportions. To grasp the gravity of how laziness erodes us, consider the physiology behind long-term inactivity. Our bodies evolved to move, to hunt, to gather. Even intellectually, we're wired to probe the unknown, solve puzzles, and adapt. Yet modern conveniences, digital devices, instant deliveries, remote everything, encourage a near-constant slump toward minimal exertion. When we become too comfortable, not only do our muscles weaken, but our brains are deprived of the stimulating challenges that keep our neurons firing effectively. Cortisol levels can rise if stress from inactivity, or guilt about it, sets in, while dopamine, which fuels motivation, might remain unsatisfyingly low. Chronic inactivity has also been associated with higher risks of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and other conditions. Meanwhile, from a psychological perspective, the more we succumb to inactivity, the more unattainable action can feel, leading to a vicious cycle. Carl Sagan's impetus was always about bridging cosmic awe with everyday life. Look at how his famous series, Cosmos, invited viewers to see the grandeur of the universe, not as a remote spectacle, but as a mirror for our own existence. That sense of awe can light a fire beneath us, reminding us that, while the universe is vast and ancient, our little spark of life still matters. We're fleeting, but that fleetingness is precisely why action, curiosity, and growth become urgent. So from a Sagan-esque view, laziness is like cosmic disrespect, squandering the star stuff that has coalesced into a thinking, feeling entity. He never wanted us to watch Cosmos and simply be passively entertained. Rather, he wanted us to leap up from our armchairs brimming with questions, thrilled to discover more about life and the cosmos. One of the surprising angles to consider here is that laziness often disguises deeper issues, boredom, fear, or even depression. When we're bored, we might default to mindless scrolling or mind-numbing tasks. When we fear failure, we postpone meaningful projects. And when depression takes hold, even the smallest tasks can feel monumental. In each case, laziness might simply be a symptom. Sagan's solution, if we infer from his broader worldview, isn't to scold or shame ourselves for feeling lazy but to ignite wonder. Wonder can be like an elixir for inactivity. Curiosity draws us out of inertia by promising something new to learn, explore, or experience. Curiosity is the antithesis of laziness. It propels us forward, unlocking the dynamic energy that Sagan so passionately championed. To fight this slow death by laziness, we need a multi-pronged approach that addresses mind, body, and environment. The cosmic perspective can be a powerful catalyst, but we also need everyday habits to anchor that inspiration into action. Consider, for instance, the crucial role of physical movement. We don't have to run marathons or become Olympic athletes. However, weaving short bursts of activity into our day, standing up to stretch, walking around the block, dancing spontaneously to a favorite tune, sends a profound signal to our biology. Movement triggers endorphins and beneficial chemical cascades that help keep our mood elevated and our bodies resilient. Pair that with an environment that reduces friction to activity, like setting out your workout clothes beforehand, or designating a clutter-free space for journaling or reading, and it becomes easier to choose action over sloth. Now, let's pause about halfway through for a reflection. What's your personal experience with inertia or laziness? Perhaps share a moment in the comments when you felt yourself drifting into a lazy pattern and how it affected your well-being, physically or mentally. Sometimes, simply acknowledging these moments is the first step toward transformation. This question is not about blaming yourself, it's about shining a light on a common human experience so we can collectively figure out ways to rise above it. Returning to Sagan's viewpoint, if we've recognized that laziness can indeed harm us, both in body and mind, how do we stop it? The simplest answer, from a cosmic vantage, is to spark genuine curiosity about something meaningful to us. That might seem too abstract, but the logic is surprisingly straightforward. When you're consumed by a genuine fascination, be it astronomy, music, cooking, coding, or any other domain, idleness becomes less appealing. Your mind begs you to explore. You wake up wanting to refine your skill, chase the next question, or create something new. True curiosity is an antidote to laziness because it replaces emptiness with purposeful drive. So if you're feeling perpetually unmotivated, it might be that you haven't yet found that subject, that project, or that pursuit that sets your neurons ablaze. Or perhaps you need to rediscover it, a passion from childhood, a hobby you set aside when life got busy. However, not all of us find it easy to stoke the fires of curiosity on demand. Life's routines, responsibilities, or heartbreaks can dim that spark. At times, the daily grind saps our emotional energy, leaving us in a state of dull fatigue rather than vibrant engagement. Here is where Sagan's cosmic perspective can again serve as a powerful ally. When you contemplate the sheer vastness of the universe, the billions of galaxies swirling in uncharted darkness, each containing countless stars and probable planetary systems, you might feel two things: overwhelming insignificance on one hand, and a humbling sense of possibility on the other. In this mix of awe and humility, many find the motivation to ask big questions or to reevaluate their life's path. Our day-to-day tasks may appear tiny in cosmic terms, but that teeniness can be liberating. If everything is small, you need not fear the outcomes so gravely. You have permission to experiment, to act, to do something, because the stakes, while personally meaningful, are not as paralyzing as you might imagine when you're stuck in your own bubble of worry. Interestingly, psychologists studying motivation and habit formation confirm the benefits of starting small. Even if you feel an existential push to do something grand, the surest way to break out of laziness is often to begin with the tiniest step. Need to tidy your home? Start with just 5 minutes of picking up or organizing. Want to exercise more? Commit to a 10-minute walk. Dream of learning an instrument? Practice one scale a day at first. These micro-steps create momentum, boosting your sense of efficacy. From Sagan's vantage point, each small action is a cosmic miracle, atoms rearranging themselves, an observer shaping reality through will. The cosmic perspective invests even the smallest steps with a certain grandeur. Before long, those steps add up to giant leaps, fueled by the sense of wonder that underscores Sagan's entire philosophy. Another dimension to consider is the effect of laziness on social connections. Sagan understood that humans are deeply social creatures, our minds evolve within communities and flourish through shared exploration. Laziness often isolates us. We might decline invites, skip collaborative projects, or ghost friends on group activities, favoring the comfort of inactivity. Over time, isolation can erode the social scaffolding that keeps us engaged and emotionally healthy. On the other side, participation is a catalyst. When you join a group, whether it's a stargazing club or a running team, you incorporate accountability and external motivation. Others' enthusiasm and energy can help rouse you from your slump, and you, in turn, can become an inspiration for someone else. By forging these relationships, we create feedback loops of curiosity and action, something Sagan found vital not only in scientific communities but in broader culture. One might also explore how laziness can be tied to deeper existential angst, something Sagan was never afraid to address. If we sense that life is purposeless or that humanity is adrift in a cold, indifferent cosmos, we might succumb to a form of nihilistic laziness. What's the point of doing anything? Sagan's answer to that was never simplistic. He acknowledged that the universe may be indifferent to our endeavors, but it doesn't mean we ourselves have to be. He saw that we humans can craft our own meaning, discovering or inventing purpose as a testament to our cognitive gifts. We are not just lumps of matter, we are luminous minds capable of love, art, science, and empathy. That perspective alone can uproot the inertia born from existential despair. There's a quiet defiance in being active and creative in a cosmos that imposes no inherent script. By choosing to create our own script, we triumph over cosmic silence. To see how this cosmic perspective might transform daily life, imagine you wake up tomorrow slightly earlier than usual. Instead of letting your mind float passively, you remind yourself, I'm part of a 13.8 billion year story. My ancestors survived unimaginable hardships. My body is a tapestry of ancient star matter, and my mind is a node in the network of humanity. Let me honor that by using this day, this fleeting gift, to see, learn, or do something new. With that mindset, you might find the energy to go for a brisk walk at dawn, absorbing the morning air. You might decide to read a science article, a philosophy essay, or a piece of literature that expands your horizons. Perhaps you text a friend, suggesting an activity to break from routine. Step by step, your day transforms from a lazy blur into a purposeful tapestry. Over weeks, these choices accumulate. Suddenly, you find that you're not the same person who struggled to break inertia. Your mind feels alive with ideas, your body thrives, and you sense the intangible satisfaction of growth. It's not all sunshine, of course. Setbacks will occur. Old habits of sloth can return under stress. You might crash on the couch after a tough day, ignoring everything you told yourself about purpose and curiosity. In those moments, Sagan's perspective can again rescue us from guilt or shame. Rather than indulging in self-blame, use your cosmic vantage to see the bigger arc of your life, the peaks and valleys. One lazy evening doesn't define you. The key is to keep returning to your sense of wonder, your trust that action is life, that curiosity is an endless wellspring of energy. Over time, those lazy episodes become less frequent or less paralyzing. They turn into restful breaks rather than demoralizing slumps. Before we delve into the final stretch, let's pose a second question. What's the one curiosity or passion in your life that, if you nurtured it more, would likely make laziness a distant memory? Perhaps it's painting, writing a novel, gardening, traveling, or a scientific subject you always wanted to explore. Share it in the comments, and consider how you can weave that passion into your daily or weekly routine so that your default setting becomes exploration rather than stagnation. Now, let's draw all these threads together. Carl Sagan didn't specifically coin a phrase like, "laziness kills you slowly," but he might well have nodded in agreement with the sentiment. From a cosmic angle, we have so little time, and so much wonder to behold. Wasting that time in a perpetual slump is akin to missing the greatest show in the universe, our own evolution of mind, body, and heart. Biologically, inactivity undermines health, paving the way for disease. Mentally, it dulls the spark of curiosity and leads to a slow emotional fade, where days, months, or even years slip by in an unremarkable haze. Socially, it isolates us from the dynamic interplay that fosters growth, community, and collective problem-solving. Existentially, it cuts us off from the creative act of forging personal meaning in a vast cosmos. How to stop it, is a simpler question than we often make it out to be. We can't fix everything overnight, but we can start by reclaiming our sense of wonder. This might mean reading a single page from a fascinating book each morning, forcing ourselves to breathe fresh air for 10 minutes, or committing to one conversation a week that genuinely challenges us. Over time, these small intentional acts accumulate, forging a new identity, one of active engagement with the gift of existence. Add in basic health guidelines, regular movement, balanced nutrition, enough sleep, stress management, and you have a robust defense against the creeping specter of laziness. And if you're a cosmic dreamer, keep Sagan's voice in your mind, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. If that doesn't awaken you from a slump, what will? Of course, none of this means we must become perpetual motion machines. Rest and relaxation are essential, and each of us needs downtime to recover and reflect. The difference is that rest is purposeful restoration, while laziness is an ongoing abdication of life's possibilities. Rest recharges you for further exploration, laziness drains your vitality and erodes your excitement. Sagan himself loved quiet moments of contemplation, but they weren't idle in the destructive sense. They were the fertile soil from which groundbreaking ideas blossomed. There's a world of difference between restful renewal and chronic inertia. Imagine if we could approach each day with a childlike hunger to explore something new, a curiosity that can't be extinguished. That's the mindset Sagan evoked. Children rarely struggle with laziness because their environment teems with novel experiences, each brimming with potential. Adults, weighed down by routine and responsibilities, often let that spark dim. But it never fully disappears. With a deliberate shift in perspective, the same cosmic wonder that enthralled us as children can reignite, fueling us to read that next chapter, start that new project, or master that elusive skill. We become participants in the cosmic dance, not mere spectators. Perhaps the real takeaway is that avoiding slow destruction by laziness isn't an extraneous luxury, it's central to living a fulfilled, awe-inspired life. Carl Sagan wanted us to see ourselves in the cosmic tapestry, not as random specks but as emergent wonders of evolution with a responsibility to learn, create, and share. Laziness stands in direct opposition to that calling, muffling our readiness to engage. Overcoming it, then, becomes a mission that transcends personal well-being. It's a testament to our place in this vast, ancient, and ongoing cosmic narrative. By breaking free from inertia, we do more than protect our health or extend our lifespans, we honor the universe's investment in conscious life. And so, if you're reading these words while lying in bed aimlessly scrolling, or if you're perched on a sofa after repeatedly delaying your to-do list, consider the power you hold in this very moment. You can choose a small step. Anything that sparks your curiosity or fosters your vitality. Maybe it's looking up at the sky tonight, letting that mesmerizing canopy of stars remind you of the ephemeral gift of life. Maybe it's writing one paragraph in a journal, or sending a message to a friend about meeting up for a brisk walk. However small, that next act can be the wedge that breaks open the door of complacency. In stepping through, you'll find not only better health and sharper intellect but also a heightened appreciation for your improbable existence in a universe that has labored across billions of years to make you possible. At the end of the day, we might say laziness kills slowly, because it denies us access to all the paths of growth and connection that make life truly worth living. Carl Sagan, through his cosmic lens, invites us to remember that our existence is rare, fragile, and brimming with potential. Let's not let inertia or idle comfort rob us of that potential. Instead, let us stand up, literally and metaphorically, and engage wholeheartedly with the wonders around us. Because in the cosmic sense, life is a once-in-a-neon chance to be here, to learn, to love, and to leave something meaningful behind. Embracing that chance is how we keep ourselves fully alive. So as we conclude, reflect on how you might weave these ideas into your own life. Reignite an old passion or discover a new one. Step outside for a short walk when you'd rather slump on the couch. Read a few pages of a challenging book instead of letting social media's infinite scroll lull you into passivity. Each moment of focused engagement chips away at the slow decay of laziness and breathes vigor into your physical, mental, and cosmic self. In the words Sagan might echo if you were with us now, the universe is vast, and your time is finite, don't squander it. Live. Move. Explore. And I'll leave you with a simple, final question: if you were to choose just one area of your life, be it health, learning, relationships, or creativity, to combat laziness right now, which would it be, and why? Feel free to share in the comments, because sometimes committing publicly can be the spark that drives real transformation. Let this question serve as your gentle prod toward renewed momentum. And always keep in mind, you, too, are star-stuffed turned self-aware, and that is far too precious a gift to waste on anything less than a fully engaged, passionately curious life.